better, faster, spider, water. Yes, I picked the most American sounding words. Today, let's talk about how I learned to speak with an American accent. Hi guys, hi everyone. Hi to people who are new to my channel and hi to people who have been here for some time. Thank you for being here. So today I'm going to talk about how I learned to speak with an American accent. Before I start, I also want to say that I haven't filmed for 2 weeks and I really miss this and I'm glad to be back. And yeah, I just love this. I love this. I have my camera, I have my new lights that my friends gifted me. I have my computer, I have my water. I'm ready to go in. I personally don't think that I have, a perfect American accent, but I have received this comment a lot in my life, like that I sound American, or I've also gotten a comment that I sound American/Polish. Don't know what that means, but basically people have said that I have this American sounding accent. And I've also received many comments like,
what's your real accent?
And I'm like, this is how I speak.
No, but like, what's your real accent?
This is it.
No, but like, what's your Latvian accent?
And I think this is also a very common stereotype that if you're not from an English-speaking country, you do need to have an accent. And although that is often true, the thing with accents is when we pronounce things differently, it's because it's easier for us to say it in that way. So basically, if some sounds are foreign or if some sounds do not exist in our language, it's sometimes difficult to suddenly create that sound, and that's why people have accents. Now, I'm not a professional in this area. This is just how I view accents. So because I have received these comments a lot from people wanting to know how me, a person who's not American, learned to speak this way, I thought, okay, since people have been asking for this, okay, I will make a video on this. This is truly just my experience and kind of my tips how I learned to speak this way. So let's get into this video. The backstory on this is basically when I was little, I wanted to be an actress. I wanted to be an actress up to the age of 16. Only later I realized that I want to work with cameras, but I also want to make my own content. I do not want to per se act. But up until that age, I thought that that's what I wanted to do. And I remember being little, like 5, 6, 7 years old and thinking, well, if I want to get into Hollywood, and yes, that's what I wanted, how will I get in? How will I get the American parts if I sound like a Latvian? Something clicked in my little kid's brain and I thought, well, okay, I need to learn how to speak with a proper American accent. So these 3 things that I will give you are the things that I did. And I also want to add that I did this when I was little. So this was while I was still learning the English language. So this is the reason why this is now my natural accent. I do not talk this way just for the camera. I do not kind of push this accent. This is just how I talk. The first thing, I watched a lot of American TV. Ever since I was little, I would just consume that language. So that's, I think, the first step. If you kind of are interested in developing that accent, you need to watch the original language, right? We've heard this a lot, but when people want to learn any language, it's important that you consume content in that language. So that's the first thing. I watched a lot of American TV. The second thing is actually a bit more interesting. Because I mentioned that I wanted to be an actress and I wanted to be in front of the camera. Look what happened. I did a lot of recording of myself. So I would record videos of myself and I would also record like sound of how I speak. I recorded myself and I listened to how I sound. And then I compared that sound to, let's say, the same sentence that American would say in some sort of a TV show. And I was looking for differences. And if I heard those differences, then this goes to the third step. I would repeat those sounds until I would get them. So that is the third and final step. I know these were super short. I would literally repeat different sounds until they would sound exactly American. So one random example is when I was little, it's also like really random, I couldn't say don't. I would say, I think I said something like don't, like a D, like a very strong D. I just couldn't say it. It just didn't come naturally to me. So what I did was I practiced that sound over and over again. I recorded myself until I could make that sound. There is nothing wrong with having an accent. It is completely normal, completely natural. If you're from a, different country and you want to, let's say, make content, or if you want to kind of get into this entertainment world and you're worried about your accent, please don't. It's really not a big deal. I learned it this way only because I wanted to be an actress in Hollywood and I wanted to play American roles, and I knew that I needed that accent. So these are basically the things that I did. I had a strong motivation. I watched a lot of American TV. I recorded myself and I practiced the sounds that I wanted or that I couldn't do. So a pro tip for you guys, if anyone who's watching wants to develop an American accent, it's very, very important, first and foremost, to understand what are the sounds that you cannot make. Because if you can't hear yourself, you can't be better. It's not possible. With that, let's get into the final part of this video. I'm keeping it super short today. I want to talk about some common sounds that I think are the most American, and if you develop these sounds, then you can probably sound more American. The first one is the R sound. The reason why I started this video with spider, water, faster, is because Americans have this very distinguished R sound. Now, a lot of countries don't have that sound. For example, in Latvia, we don't have that sound. We say R like R, so we have a very strong R sound. So if I would say faster in like Latvian way, I would say faster. R. I would say a very strong R. Faster. So faster, spider, water. If you learn to pronounce the R this way, you will immediately sound more American. The second sound is the sound the. I don't know why, but I've heard many times people who are not from America say the, let's say something like the house or the cat, as the cat, the house. Somehow the can, transform into a D or Z or any other letter. So if a person wants to sound American, I think this little sound is very, very important to just practice and practice and practice. It's also in other words like, thunder. You can say thunder. I don't know if that was a good example, but basically it's this the. And the reason why I think it's complicated is because, again, this sound doesn't exist in other languages. I mean, I can't speak about actually other languages that much because I don't know them that well, but I know in Latvian we don't use this sound that often, like this the. We don't have it because when you put T and H together, it's like the, it's also like de. It's kind of like this mixture of things. So this is definitely something that I also practiced. This day is so beautiful. I'm sorry for like pausing in the middle of my video, but this is just so nice. Like, it's snowing outside, the sun is nice, I'm just loving it. So I'm sorry if this looks a little bit weird, but I'm embracing the sun, okay? Let's move on. And the last sound that I kind of practiced, and the last sound that I've noticed makes a lot of difference, is the T turning into a D. You don't hear me say water. I could say that, of course, but I say water. So it kind of becomes this D, like this very quiet, maybe even D, because it's not water, it's water. That's basically it. I want to repeat myself again and say that if you do have an accent and you think that that's the reason you can't do something in like international way or be in the entertainment industry, just stop right there. That is absolutely ridiculous. I do understand you though, I get it. But an accent is a completely normal thing. It is completely natural. The reason why I speak this way is because I learned American English that way. I was very dedicated. I've been dedicated since I was little. If I have a goal, if I have a purpose, I just go for it. It doesn't matter how many years it takes me. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. I missed you. I missed doing this so much. I have some exciting things planned for the next couple of weeks. I bought myself a Gorilla Pod, which I'm very excited about. So I will be definitely trying out some more freestyle shots. I love my sit down videos, absolutely love them, but I want to expand a little bit. You know, I've been doing YouTube now for 8 months and I want to continue growing and I want to do more. So very excited about that. Thank you also for just being here. You know, I've said this in my Christmas vlog, but there will be some times where I have to skip a week because of my job. I am very busy there and I'm doing my best, really, truly doing my best and trying to make as much content as I can. But thank you for being patient with me. Thank you for sticking around. One day, I will do this full time. I know it in my heart. But until then, just gotta grind. Just gotta continue doing it. But yeah, I am such a talkative person. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, press that like button, hit subscribe for more content like this. If you found something interesting or valuable in this, comment down below. Let me know if there's something else you want me to talk about, if it's regarding the accent, if it's regarding anything else. I would love to answer those questions. I would love to connect with you. But yeah, that's it for today. Have an amazing week and I will see you next week. Bye.